Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of The Imperfect Entrepreneur. And I'm all fired up today because me and my wife are having a conversation about the difference between having vision and eyesight. So this weekend was super cool. My daughter has been talking about neigh-neighs, which are horses in her world, for the last 2 to 3 weeks, and we actually went out to a farm in Virginia and saw some neigh-neighs, and she was so excited. And we saw a llama as well, and she was so excited. And honestly, I forgot how big those horses are. I mean, the head was like bigger than my head, like by 4 or 5 times. So that head was a big head. So me and my wife were going back and forth about vision and eyesight this morning. And the difference between vision and eyesight is exactly this. So when my wife first started in her business, she's a real estate agent, and she had just left her job in not Washington, D.C. We moved to Washington, D.C., but she left her job in New York City as a marketing executive, and she was going to start her own business as a real estate agent. And when she first started, she realized how difficult having your own business is, because now it's not just execution of the work. You now need to go get the work as well. Whereas a lot of those big organizations, and any organization that is successful, they have people in the organization that get the work. They have people that are in the organization that execute on the work. They have different departments. And now all of a sudden, she was starting out and she needed to do all of those things. And she was extremely overwhelmed. And her overwhelmness was something that created a catalyst. And that catalyst was, how do we get leads and get flow into her business as it's a new business? And one of the options that was presented to her at that time was to purchase Zillow leads. And what Zillow created was a website or a platform that allowed people to be searching online, and while they're searching online, also click a couple buttons and get connected with a real estate agent. And this was totally new for the industry, because prior to that, the only way people would find out about leads is if you had an agent and they gave you access to their portal where you could see all of the inventory. And the way you would get connected with agents is by going to open houses, and then the agent would offer value. And if you thought that person was a good team member and you wanted to work with them, then you'd take their information and you'd start building a relationship with that person. Where now Zillow was literally getting in front of these agents, and these people had spent 30, 40 years building up their client base to have listings. Now Zillow was cutting that off. They were circumventing that. They were taking those leads that normally would have gone to the listing agent and now giving them to people who were willing to pay a fee to get those leads from the Zillow website. And I remember distinctly having this conversation with my wife. I was like, babe, if I were you, I would definitely buy these leads. I mean, they're coming in hot. Like, yes, still do the open houses, still do those other ways of generating leads. But this way will also help in that lead generation. And she was a little hesitant, and she actually went and talked with one of her managers at her old brokerage. And that guy was like, oh, I would never pay for leads, and I would never do that. I would never pay Zillow and all this other stuff. And I was like, man, babe, I'm telling you, buy those leads. And I'm so grateful that she took my advice, and she made that initial investment against her own thought process, against her manager's recommendation. She did it, and she started getting leads. And I was like, babe, now that this is working, double down, spend more money on it. And that's where it was like, dude, I don't want to do that. I want to get this thing rolling. I want to get it under control. I'm like, it's never a good time. It's never going to be a good time. Just spend the money now. She was like, oh, no, I don't. So I'm like, you know what? I logged into her account while she was asleep, and I raised it from like $1,500 a month to $8,000 a month. That single move alone allowed her to all of a sudden get flooded with leads, start building a business that she could be proud of, that could create something that she never could have ever made in that marketing agency. Or if she would have gotten to that point of making that, she would have been spent, years and decades of her life building with them, and then eventually might have gotten paid that. But like by putting that money up for those leads, now all of a sudden she was able to, get these leads. And obviously you have to be a closer, and she was a closer. Like, people liked working with her. She could execute and secure the lead, which is what she was really good at. And so those Zillow leads helped her build a real business where now she has team members, and now she's like really growing and scaling. And the point that I'm trying to make here is that having vision is different than eyesight. That manager that was telling her, oh no, I would never get those leads, didn't see that the industry was changing. Zillow was literally changing the industry. They were taking the leads away from the listing agents and now giving them to people that were willing to pay for it. And these are hundreds and thousands of leads that were active. These people wanted to buy. And that manager didn't have the vision. And that's why he was working as a manager. Like, not everybody has vision. Not everybody can see something and see a result in their mind and start taking execution on it to actually make it reality and make it so that other people can see it in with their eyesight. And, we've done that in the construction industry. I first started out in the construction industry as a subcontractor. I hated it. I hated it because not only did I have to listen to the customer's demands, now all of a sudden I had to listen to my general contractor's demands, and their demands oftentimes were in addition to the customer. So they created all these additional hurdles that were unnecessary for the execution of the project. And I, in my mind, saw that it was possible to go out there and get our own projects. And that it was vision there. Did we have those projects at the time? No. Was it going to take a lot of energy and effort and work to go get those projects? Yes. Were we willing to do it? Yes. Has it been done before? Yes. So that's what vision is. And then you got to go out there and execute and take the action to make it a reality so that it then can be seen with eyesight. With our eyes. You can see it right here, right now. Do we have those type of projects? Yes. Are we working directly for the owner? Yes. Are we the subcontractor anymore? No. That is in the flesh. We can see it with our eyes now. But when it first started, that was vision. That was only in our mind. We could only see it in our mind. It wasn't a reality at that point. My wife building her business wasn't a reality at that point. But her taking the action and getting that Zillow platform and investing in that allowed her to build a business. And now those same clients that she got from Zillow that she paid for are now selling their homes. But she's built a relationship with them. She closed on that relationship with them, and now she doesn't have to pay for that lead anymore. That's the cool thing about vision, is that once you get it rocking and rolling, then you can start to transition and look at other avenues to continue to create flow for the business. But in the beginning, you have to have vision. In the beginning, your eyes will deceive you. Your eyes will say, oh, don't do it. Your eyes will say, it's not worth it. Your eyes will say, that's too much money. But if you have vision and you're willing to take the actions and then build out the team to help you take actions on that ideal picture, that ideal version of your business, like, you can make it a reality. And that's what's exciting to me. That's what's exciting to people that want to build a legacy. Vision. Not trusting eyesight, but trusting vision. Let's go on there and continue to build our legacy. Let's roll and have a great day.